So today we're talking about this little guy. This is the Blackmagic Studio camera G2. This is a 4K camera with SDI, HDMI, battery power, ability to record to external discs, and so forth. This is a small, compact little camera that I'm personally going to try and use for travel cinematography. One of my main objectives is to have a camera that would be lightweight, compact, and able to either pack up really easily or be unnoticeable when I'm using it. So one of the things with this one is it fits all of that. Now, one of the downsides to this is you do have to rig it up a little bit. You have to add a monitor because it has no external monitoring. You have to add an external drive because it doesn't record internally. And you have to have some way of carrying it. So I've mounted a NATO rail on top, put a simple handle on, and then I'm going to mount a monitor to the top here. Pretty easy to sort of carry around. If I want, I can put the monitor on the back and just, look here. It's super light though, and it fits basically in the palm of my hand. So it's not a huge effort to carry around. Now, the thing about this is it does have some downsides. It is small. It has the same sensor as the Pocket 4K, which is what I'm recording this on right now. But one thing that I have noticed with this footage is it's a little bit finicky. It's a little bit harder to get that clean quality image out of compared to the Pocket 4K. Now that just might be a lack of use, lack of experience with it. I might need to try a little bit more. But that's one thing that I'm sort of struggling with. Also, with it being so small and lightweight, I shake a lot. So any vibration that I give off, it's going to pick up. So I'm primarily going to use this on either a gimbal, a very lightweight gimbal, because, well, this is a tiny little camera, and it's like 300 grams. It's barely noticeable without all the rigging. And so I'm going to either do that or have it on a tripod. So it's mostly going to be stationary. Now, I could use this on, let's say, like a slider or a dolly and so forth to get smooth motion. Again, those things work a little bit better if there's a little bit more weight. But with this one, I've added on the Viltrox speed booster. And I'm using some adapted Nikkor lenses to go to an EF mount. So this little setup has been pretty good. So some of the other little finicky things about this one is the menuing. So here you have a set of buttons. Since there's no built-in monitor, you're not going to be able to, like the Pocket 6K or 4Ks, be able to touchscreen your setup. That being said, the menuing takes a little bit to get used to. If you hit menu, it will go into the system settings. It will give you, like, how you want to record, your slate, things like that. Standard Blackmagic things. But if you want to change, let's say, shutter speed, frame rate, and so forth, you hit the set button and then you navigate similar to the back of the Blackmagic, the different settings, and you can set it there. Now, it took me a few minutes to figure out how to change the shutter. It comes set at a 90-degree shutter. I want to change it to 180-degree, and so I had that. Now, it does have the same capacity or abilities as the Pocket 4K, so you can set your shutter speed, your frame rate, and so forth. One of the differences here is that it will actually work with, instead of ISO, it will do gain. So you have to sort of get familiar with gain. Comes default at 0 gain. It does have the same 13 stops dynamic range, the Pocket 4K, same sensor. But when you're working with gain, it takes a little bit to get used to the way that the gain is set up so that you have the most dynamic range as possible. I'm still going to have to get used to that. So with the Pocket 4K, I know that native ISO is 400 and I believe 1600, whatever. Don't quote me on that. But the native ISO or native gain is 0 and 24, positive 24. Yeah, it's a little beast. So with this, again, using the speed booster and so forth, gets a good amount of dynamic range. It's not heavy at all, so it's very compact. One complaint that I have is the LP6 batteries. They just don't last that long. Typically, I'll use these with my Canon cameras. They work pretty well with that. But with these pocket cameras or the Blackmagic cameras, they just eat through them so quickly. So I get like, if I'm just holding it open and running it, about 30 minutes on it. It's not that great. So what I have done is I've gone ahead and I have a LP6 dummy battery to DTAP, so I could use a DTAP battery, V-mount battery. I got a couple of those, and so I'll be using that. But on the whole, it's a good little camera. I'm going to be taking this to Japan this summer and trying it out on the streets of Tokyo and Kyoto and see how it works. I'll mostly probably be using it with a tripod and sticks. So, and then after that, I might use it as a web camera or a YouTube camera like this. It does have SDI outs. It will do, I do believe, 2K out. It won't do the full 4K out as far as I know. I will also use this with my A10 Mini. Works great with that. It will do 1080p out, and so that's always helpful. The other thing with this is, since it doesn't have internal recording, I do use the Samsung T5s, and these ones will be saddled up to this. I haven't quite figured out mounting quite yet. Might mount it to the handle or figure out another way to do it. But these are necessary because, again, no internal recording. The option to have a cage on this is there, but the company that supplies a cage for this camera is pricing it at $170. I'm not going to be $170 for a camera this small and cheap. That seems like a little bit of overkill. Now, if a small rig or one of the other cage manufacturers comes out and makes a reasonably priced cage for something this small, I would probably buy it. Since hooking up just a NATO rail on it isn't going to be a long-term solution. And then if I'd have to mount my drive on here and the monitor on here, it gets a little unwieldy. Now, piece of Velcro on this, slap it to the back of a monitor, that might work just as well, and keep it compact. So, on the whole, this is a great little camera. Still working through some of the finer points of it, looking to test out some more footage. I've added some to this video that you can check out, and again, that's going to be either with the Filtrox speed booster and the Nikon lenses, or one of the big things that I'm going to be using this for is using it with my anamorphic lenses. I have all the Sirui sets. I do love those lenses. They are a lot of fun to use, so I'll be using that with this. Again, this is not a full camera, so it does not have the in-camera de-squeeze option for monitoring. So again, I will have to use a small rig, a small HD monitor or something similar to have the de-squeeze in the monitor. So again, cool little camera. Compact, light. If I have a gimbal that takes just a few pounds, I have small lenses. I could use this up to, you know, a 3-pound gimbal or even lighter. And so gimbal options are numerous now. And since I have the Blackmagic Pocket 4K and this one, they'll pair well together and I should be able to use them seamlessly. That's all I've got for now. I will probably be using this a little bit more in the future, and I'll let you know how it goes. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button, and we will see you in the next one. Have a good one, everybody.